What is going on, guys? Adam Katz for the Hardcore Camping Gear channel, the channel where we explore and review the camping gear that you need to be self-contained, self-reliant, and most of all comfortable camping in the outdoors without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars on an expensive RV or travel trailer. In this episode, we're looking at the Kelly Kettle Scout model. So the last time I screwed around with this, you could see it burnt a hole, not a hole, but it burnt the top of the table here. So what I did was I got on Amazon and I ordered a piece of like welder's felt that I'm going to put down on top of the table because apparently it gets hotter than I thought. So this comes out like that. Now this is the ultimate kit, so it comes for the Scout model. There's 3 different models. There's a Trekker model, which is the smaller one, which is a little bit smaller than this, the Scout model, and then the base camp model. I had to get the one with the whole cook set with it because I'm a lunatic. And I'll show you what this comes with here. So you've got this here that opens up. So this is the base. And then this ultimate model, I think that's what it's called, actually comes with a hobo stove that you can kind of put, I guess, like that. I've only used this once or twice, so I'm by no means an expert. But so this sits on top, just like that, or like, yeah, like that, so that you can put your pot, which this comes with a set of a couple of different cups, as well as, yeah, let's see here, handles that get hard to take apart. So these have these nifty little rubber plastic things that go on like that, so you don't burn yourself when you're drinking from the cup, which is kind of cool. And a slightly smaller cup that also nests inside it. And so we're going to set this aside for now, and the pot as well. Actually, I'm going to set all of this inside. So the way this works is that it uses a chimney effect. You fill up the water through here, and the water sits around the perimeter. You can see it's kind of like a double-lined canteen almost. And then you put the wood down here, and you set this on top, and then you light the wood on fire, and then you can feed the fire through the middle here. And it's very, very efficient. I'm actually really impressed with this thing. It's super well built. I mean, I think this thing could probably last the rest of my lifetime. Which may not be saying much. And then it's got the stopper here. They've recently redesigned this stopper, and it has a little airflow opening here. And if you leave this on here, which they don't really recommend that you leave it on there, but if you do, it'll start to kind of whistle like a regular kettle would. And then after you get done boiling your water, you can put that in there and it'll keep it hot. So that's a pretty cool feature. What this does here is you can put these together like that, and then set that in there when you get done boiling your water, or I guess at the same time. And then you can, if you have a pot, which I have a pot down here because it was included, you sit that on top like that. They also give you a pot holder, which is kind of cool. And like I showed you before, the top that goes on there. The whole thing works really well. And I'm going to show you in just a minute. I'm going to show you how this actually works. And then a couple of plates and a grill as well. This opens up. So the whole thing kind of fits together pretty nice. You've got a couple of plates, a couple of stainless steel plates. Just like that. It's a nice piece of kit. And once you're done boiling the water, you can take this off. The way this actually works is you take this off, you lift it off like that, and then you can pour the water out. And then put this on top like that, and because it's designed to serve as like a hobo stove. The only question I have is really, what role does this play in my camping gear? Like, for example, the whole thing, it's way too heavy to stick in a backpack if I was going backpacking, and it's too large. I think even the Trekker model is probably too large. You know, unless you were just going out on like a day hike or maybe a half-day hike and you wanted to make yourself a cup of coffee. But for the whole kit, it's way too big to put in your pack. So the question becomes, you know, do you use this for car camping, or do you use it for, you know, for overlanding, that type of thing? But if you're going to do that, you might as well just bring your 2-burner Coleman stove. It doesn't make sense to necessarily limit yourself to this. I guess maybe it would if you were solo camping, but there just seems to be better options if you were car camping. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, it's super cool. A couple of things to note about the Kelly Kettle that I haven't seen in other reviews, or maybe I did and just missed it. But as you'll see in this next clip, you really need to use small twigs, small pieces of twigs. You need to break your twigs down so that they're very small, and you don't have any that are longer than the base of the Kelly Kettle. Because if it's longer, the kettle part is going to have trouble seating properly. And the other issue is, even if it does seat properly and you've already got the fire going and you want to add more fuel, i.e. wood, to the top of it, if the pieces are too long, like the fat wood in the next clip, when you lift the kettle off the base, you could have problems with your fire spreading, like I almost did, and almost burned down my house. So be aware of that. Also, the bottom of the kettle part gets incredibly hot. So if you lift that up and you set that down, let's say, for example, on a plastic camp chair or something, it could very well burn your chair. Pretty nifty. I bet if I burned my house down, that would be great for the channel. Figure for 1920, 21, about 2 minutes. Not too shabby. So this we're going to lift off here like this, I'm told. No, that's not good. Normally they can go like that, but my sticks are too long. Boy, that gets hot fast. Yeah, it's hot. It's definitely hot. But if I was, you know, going out on a dedicated camping trip, I gotta be honest, I'd probably just bring a Coleman stove or any other variety of stove. Even another twig stove that would pack down smaller, I think would just be more practical. So if you're asking yourself, should I get one of these? Yeah, I think it's super cool. I love the history behind the product. It certainly works. I mean, it certainly does everything that that it's advertised to do. My only issue is really just, you know, just the size. But look, if you're gonna go out for a half day, you know, maybe head out on a little hike around the lake before your wife wakes up on a cool Sunday morning, and you know, you want to take this to make a cup of coffee. It's probably a good investment. I also think it's great if you're, you know, a prepper or you're into emergency preparedness. Just having a little twig burning cooker like this, I think, is a good idea. I do think that having the welder's felt is a really good investment. This cost, I want to say, like 10 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. And you can just fold this up and put it in the bag that it came with, and I think you'll be just fine. Let me just show you guys real quick. This was the original burn before I had the welder's felt, and even with the welder's felt, that's still hot. So either this thing needs to be thicker, or I don't know what, because that's even 2 to 3 minutes, that's still extremely hot. So be careful, guys, where you're using this, because that could be a real problem. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like to buy your own Kelly Kettle, check out hardcorecampinggear.com. I've got links to all of the gear that I review in all of our videos, so that you too can get a Kelly Kettle and possibly almost burn your house down as well. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.